Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. This is a special week because all of our picks have been chosen by Oremaster 101. Without further ado, let's go into it with the first animal of the week being the blue-footed booby, which is a marine bird native to the subtropical and tropical regions of the eastern Pacific Ocean from California to the Galapagos Islands, south into Peru. It is a social species which generally travels and lives in flocks of up to 12 individuals. The blue-footed booby is a specialized fish eater which hunts small schooling fish such as sardines, anchovies, mackerel, and flying fish, as well as squid and offal, by diving into the ocean after said prey from up to 330 feet, hitting the water at around 27 miles per hour and plunging some 80 feet under the surface. The blue-footed boobies are themselves preyed upon by sharks, the occasional feline or canine, vampire finches, and birds of prey like owls and the Galapagos hawk. Blue-footed boobies average around 3.5 feet in length and 3 pounds in weight, sporting a 5-foot wingspan, with females being slightly larger than males. The wings are long and pointed and brown in color, and the neck and head are light brown with white streaks, while the belly and underside exhibit pure white plumage. The eyes are a distinctive yellow, with the male having more yellow in its irises than the female. The most notable characteristic of the blue are its blue-colored feet, which can range in color from a pale turquoise to a deep aquamarine. Blue-footed boobies form mated pairs and or trios, which may breed year-round, and have a very interesting courtship ritual, which includes one flaunting its blue feet, strutting, and dancing to impress its mates. They build nests comprised of divots in the ground surrounded by pebbles of lava rock. Here, a female may lay 1 to 3 eggs, with each parent taking turns to incubate the eggs for 41 to 45 days. Chicks feed off the regurgitated fish of the adult's mouth. If the parent does not have enough food to feed all of the chicks, it will feed only the biggest chick, ensuring at least one will survive. Under ideal conditions, a blue-footed booby will reach sexual maturity around 1 to 6 years of age and may live up to 18 years. Next up is the cookie-cutter shark, which is a species of shark that's also known as cigar shark, the luminous shark, and the demon whale biter in the family Dalatidae. This shark occurs in warm oceanic waters worldwide, particularly near islands, often over 2 miles in depth. It migrates vertically up to 2 miles every day, approaching the surface at dusk and descending down with the dawn. The name cookie-cutter shark refers to its feeding habit of gouging round plugs out of larger aquatic animals, such as marine mammals, cephalopods, bony fish, rays, and other sharks, as if cut out with a cookie cutter. Said cookie-cutter marks have also been found on submarines, fishing nets, undersea cables, and even humans. They are also known to eat small prey such as squid, small fish, and crustaceans. They are a social species which is known to travel in schools that communicate with each other by shining their vibrant blue and green bioluminescent undersides. These concentrations of lights also act to discourage and disorient larger predators. Females are larger than males, reaching up to 22 inches or 55 centimeters in length, compared to 17 inches or 43 centimeters for males. Both sport long, cylindrical bodies with a short, blunt snout, large eyes, 2 tiny dorsal fins, and a large caudal fin. They are dark brown with light-emitting photophores, covering their underside except for a dark collar around its throat and gill slits. The mouth is short and surrounded by enlarged, fleshy, suctoral lips. The upper and lower jaws are extremely different, with the upper teeth are small, narrow, and upright, tapering to a single smoothed-edge cusp, while the lower teeth are also smoothed edge, but much larger, broader, and knife-like, with the bases interlocking to form a single saw-like cutting blade. Like other dogfish sharks, the cookie-cutter shark is aplacental, viparous, and mating occurs year-round, with females giving birth to litters of 6 to 12 pups. Under ideal conditions, a cookie-cutter shark may live upwards of 25 years. And next up we have the sun bear, which is a species of bear in the family Ursidae and the only species in its genus Heliarctos, which is native throughout India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Here they are primarily solitary, diurnal, and arboreal creatures, which live throughout both tropical, deciduous, and evergreen forests, and are often found 10 to 30 feet off the forest floor and sleep inside tree cavities or under fallen logs. Sun bears are omnivorous with a broad diet which includes nuts, fruit, seeds, sap, leaves, eggs, honey, nectar, grubs, bees, ants, beetles, termites, spiders, small birds, reptiles, and small mammals. Sun bears are themselves preyed upon by tigers, leopards, dholes, and reticulated pythons. Reaching 3 to 4.5 feet in length, or 1 to 1.3 meters, and 55 to 145 pounds, or 25 to 65 kilograms in weight. The sun bear is the smallest of all bear species. It is stockily built with large paws, strongly curved claws, small rounded ears, and a short snout. The fur is generally jet black, but can vary from gray to red. Sun bears get their name from the characteristic orange to cream-colored chest patch, and sun bears also sport inward-facing paws better suited to climbing, and incredibly long tongues which they use when feeding upon insects, honey, sap, and nectar. Sun bears are noted for their intelligence, with several individuals being observed to raid locked sugar storerooms by retrieving the keys and or picking the locks. Sun bears are polyestrous, with breeding occurring year-round. After a 95 to 240-day pregnancy, which is dependent on the number of cubs, the mother will give birth to 1 to 3 cubs and will remain with their mother for up to 3 years. Under ideal conditions, a sun bear may live upwards of 30 years. Next up, we have the leafy sea dragon. It's also known as gallnuts, sea dragon, or simply the leafy. It is a marine fish in the family Cynogathidae, which includes sea dragons, pipefish, and seahorses, and is the only member of its genus Phycodurus. They are native to the waters of the southern and western coast of Australia, where they tend to be found in seagrass, meadows, sandy areas, and kelp forests up to 150 feet below the surface. They live alone or in pairs, and feed by sucking up small crustaceans such as amphipods and mysis shrimp, as well as plankton and animal larvae through their long pipe-like snouts. Sea dragons are themselves preyed upon by other fish, crustaceans, and even sea anemones. Reaching 8 to 10 inches or 20 to 25 centimeters in length, their name is derived from their appearance, with long leaf-like protrusions coming from all over the body. These protrusions are not used for propulsion, and they serve only as camouflage. The leafy sea dragon propels itself by means of a pectoral fin on the ridge of its neck and a dorsal fin on its back closer to the tail end. These small fins are almost completely transparent and difficult to see as they undulate minutely to move the creature sedentally through the water, completing the illusion of a floating piece of seaweed. In addition, leafy sea dragons can change their coloration to better match their surroundings. As with other seahorses and pipefish, the male leafy sea dragon cares for the eggs. The female produces up to 250 bright pink eggs, which she then deposits them onto the male's brood patch with her ovipositor, a long tube. After 9 weeks, the eggs turn a bright purple and begin to hatch, leaving the male to birth the young a few at a time over a period of 24 to 48 hours. Once born, the young sea dragon the young sea dragons are completely independent, eating small zooplankton until large enough to hunt mysids. Under ideal conditions, the leafy sea dragon will reach sexual maturity around 2 years of age and live up to 10 years. Next up is the bubble-tipped anemone, or also called, known scientifically as Estomacea quadricolor. It is a species of sea anemone in the family Actinidae, which is native to the tropical waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, being found in particular abundance in the Red Sea. In the wild, E. quadricolor are found in 2 locations. The large adult specimens with tentacles that are more streaming or stinging are often found in deeper waters with more dimly lit conditions. These specimens are often solitary, while smaller, younger specimens are often located in large groups or colonies near the surface in bright sunlight. These specimens tend to show the bulbous tips on their tentacles that are characteristic of E. quadricolor. A characteristic of E. quadricolor is its ability to maintain a symbiotic relationship with anemone fish, anemone shrimp, porcelain crabs, and domino damsels, which can be hosted by the anemone by providing it with defense against predators and also providing some nourishment. In turn, the anemone provides the fish or crustacean with shelter. These anemones get the majority of their energy from solar radiation via its symbiotic zooxanthellae algae. They can also obtain nutrients by filter feeding using their sweeping tentacles or through the waste and debris cleaned from the surface by their partner fish or crustacean. Quadricolor anemones appear in a variety of colors, including rose, orange, red, and green. The sea anemone can grow up to be nearly a foot or 0.3 meters in diameter, and their breeding season lasts from January to April, during which time they broadcast spawn, with each anemone releasing its gametes into the water column to join with others in a free swimming planula larvae, which remain in the open water for up to 59 days before settling down to the sea floor to grow into their adult form. They can also reproduce asexually using longitudinal fission. Under ideal conditions, a bubble-tip anemone may live several hundred years. Next up is the pelican eel, also known as the pelican gulper. The umbrella mouth gulper, or the gulper eel, is a species of deep-sea eel that is the only known member of its genus Europharynx and its family Europharyngidae. The pelican eel is native to the temperate and tropical waters of all oceans at depths of 1,600 to 9,800 feet or 500 to 3,000 meters. Despite the great size of its jaws, which can occupy up to about a quarter of the animal's total length, it only has tiny teeth, which are not used for catching large prey, so instead the pelican eel feeds by swimming into large groups of small fish, crustaceans, and other invertebrates with its mouth closed, opening wide as it closely approaches the prey and scooping dozens up at once, then swallowing. Pelican eels themselves are preyed upon by lancetfish, large squid, and deep-sea predators. Other deep-sea predators. Reaching around 2 to 3 feet or 1 meter in length, the pelican eel is a smaller-sized eel which sports tiny eyes and a very long whip-like tail which is used for movement and for communication via bioluminescence. Pelican eels are generally black or deep purple, some can be olive in coloration, and some subspecies have a thin lateral white stripe along their length. They have multiple unique adaptations for their environment and lifestyle, including having a gelatin-filled kidney instead of a swim bladder, an ampullae of the lateral line system that surrounds the body rather than being contained in a narrow groove like in most other fish. The pelican eel's most notable feature is its large mouth, which is larger than its body. The mouth is loosely hinged and can be quickly folded tight, open wide, or even inflated like a balloon. Not much is known about the reproductive habits of the pelican eel. Similar to other eels, though, when pelican eels are first born, they start in the leptocephalus stage, meaning that they look extremely thin and transparent. Until they reach their juvenile stage, they interestingly have a very small body organs and do not contain any red blood cells. It is unknown how long pelican eels may live. And our extinct animal of the week is Deinosuchus, which is an extinct genus of alligatorid crocodilian related to modern alligators and caimans, which lived throughout what is now North America during the Campanian stage of the late Cretaceous period some 82 to 73 million years ago. The first remains of Deinosuchus, consisting of 2 massive teeth, were unearthed in North Carolina by geologist Ebenezer Edmonds in 1858. Edmonds assigned these teeth to Polypacodon, which is a species of pliosaur. In 1869, yet more teeth would be unearthed in North Carolina by Edward Drinker Cope, who thought they belonged to an indeterminate archosaur, which he named Polydectus bituringidus. Later in 1903, at Willow Creek, Montana, several fossil osteoderms were discovered by John Bell Hatcher and T.W. Stanton, which they initially believed belonged to the ankylosaurid dinosaur Euoplocephalus. Further excavations of the site yield additional osteoderms as well as vertebrae, ribs, and a pubis. However, when it became clear that these bones belonged to a large crocodilian and not dinosaur, Hatcher immediately lost interest, and it was his assistant, W. J. Holland, who studied and described the fossils, naming the beast Deinosuchus hatcheri in 1909 from the Greek dinos, meaning terrible, and suchus, meaning crocodile. Since then, multiple remains of Deinosuchus, including several partial skulls, have been recovered in the 1940s and the early 2000s from 10 U.S. states, as well as northern Mexico, indicating that it lived on both sides of the western interior seaway, with 4 species currently being recognized, those being D. hatcheri, D. rugosus, D. riograndensis, and D. schwimmeri. Reaching 25 to 40 feet, or 9 to 12 meters in length, and 3 to 9 tons, or 2 to 8.5 metric tons in weight, Deinosuchus was amongst the largest crocodilians to ever live, only being rivaled in size by the likes of Purosaurus, Ramphosuchus, and Sarcosuchus. In life, it would have dwelled in lakes, coastlines, rivers, swamps, and estuaries, occupying the niche of apex predator, and feeding upon fish, crustaceans, turtles, other aquatic reptiles, pterosaurs, and even dinosaurs. As always, take care to my guys, gals, non-binary pals. Hope you had a wonderful day.